Hello, everybody. Pardon the outfit, but like I said, it's super hot. And I contemplated doing a shirtless stream, but I don't want to go there in the only devs vibes. So I settled for the little singlet, which I think is acceptable. I'll accept it. So I want to stream more. The hardest part of streaming more, as I put my glasses, because after 10 seconds I see blurry. The hardest part is to find inspiration and a repeatable process. And so I thought of something that goes back to my personal roots. I started my career making templates for a platform called ThemeForest, which is one of the sister sites of a big family of sites by Envato Marketplace. And if I share my screen, basically, ThemeForest is a huge, successful marketplace that has lots of templates, going from WordPress themes to HTML, Shopify shops, lots of CMS like Joomla, Drupal, Moodle, etc. It's awesome, and there's a very, very high level of design and quality in there. Excuse me. How do I know? Because I've been rejected like many ThemeForest authors. The first time you try to submit a template, it gets hard rejected with a pretty aggressive email telling you that it's nowhere near where it needs to be. And so I've cut my teeth and sharpened my skills, design UI skills. I owe a lot to this community within the Envato marketplace. Matter of fact, fun fact, if we search for user/Simon Swiss, you will see that here I am. It is kind of like frozen in time because I haven't been doing much. As you can see, I'm looking for a part-time role with jQuery, WordPress, Modex, which was like the cool stuff. It is still cool, by the way. And these are some of my templates. This one, where is it? I also did design, like graphic design. Look at this. Ain't that cool? One of the templates sort of blew up. Where is it? It's called Boom, this one. It sold 570 times, which is pretty cool if you think about it. And this really kind of changed my trajectory from doing really small corner store from my street shop that needs a website for their grandma sort of clients to people contacting me from the US and from everywhere to do customizations on this template or to do bespoke websites. So I owe the start of my career to Envato, and I'm very grateful to Collis and the whole family. They're amazing. So what I thought to do, and I hope that it really doesn't break any rules, is take some inspiration from some templates and try to rebuild them. And let's be very clear, what I'm going for is not, hey, let me show you how you can build this template so you don't have to buy it and you can do it yourself. Not at all. Actually, what I'm showing is intentionally more prototypey. It's more like, let's have an inspiration that's like a real website with some content and concepts. And let's build this with Tailwind CSS and Keystatic for the content. And I think it can be seen in a way I'm doing some promotion, like free advertising for these templates, instead of being seen as, oh, you're showing customers how to build my thing. So hopefully no one comes after me and takes me down and sues me. I'm happy to have a chat with someone from Envato if that's a problem. But what I was thinking is I would go through, for example, the landing page marketing templates, and then go through and just pick something, any random template. And there's always a lot of different designs. Within each design, there's multiple designs. So if that's an acceptable concept, I think there's creative potential for the rest of my life to do this if I want. So I really hope that I can. This is actually looking really nice. See, I'm already doing some free advertising. So I'm going to do one, and if I can't do this, I will not do any more. I'll try to find someone that I know at Envato and talk to them about this. But again, it's definitely, I'm not going to recreate all the pages and all the specifics. especially because ThemeForest has a lot of plugins and carousels and sliders and lightbox image preview, like this fancy stuff under the hood, and I won't do all of this. I'm just focusing on the layout, the content, so it should really not be, I'm not giving you something that you can use to replace the template is what I'm saying. Let me check the comments if there's already someone from Envato telling me to stop. And also, if you can hear me and everything, I haven't checked anything. Yes, it looks like it's working. All right. So, ahead of time this morning, because it's the first time I looked, I thought, let's start something fairly simple, which is a blog. It's a typical, demo is using a blog template, but I think it works kind of well. And I found one for the Ghost platform, which I tend to like these themes because Ghost has this vibe of minimalism and clean, simple stuff. Where if you go in the WordPress themes, because there is so much competition and a lot of money, I use this theme on at least 5 or 6 different clients. It's amazing. Look at this. The price is $69, and they sold almost 100,000 times. So you can do the math. It's a good business. But this has 600 demos, 700 different. The amount of stuff that goes in there and that keeps getting added is incredible. And so I'm not interested in, although I could just pick one page, one demo of these. But I thought I'll start with a simple one. And I found this Spotlight Ghost theme, which is pretty cool. So it's very simple blog, like a very, very ghosty sort of minimalism. And so there's a blog with categories, little CTA at the bottom. And then you can go either through the categories page. So each category has its own listing. There's also probably a categories page showing the different categories. And then if you go in one blog article, you have the blog post like that. So I think that's pretty cool. And before, because I'm already in the demo here, just like I said, I don't want to steal people's thunder. So let me search for Spotlight Ghost. So this is this one here, just so we can give a shout out to High Five Themes. And if you're upset with me doing this, I won't do it again, and I'm sorry in advance. But I think it's what I'm going to show is not going to replace these 6 premium blogging demos with all the stuff. I'm just doing a little inspiration. Yeah, hopefully that's fine. So let's start that. And I don't know yet if I'm going to use always Astro or Next.js or Remix or whatever. There's pros and cons to each. For this one, I'm going to use Astro. And then in the future, I might mix it up a bit. If you're okay with that. If you're not, let me know in the comments. You have 5 seconds. I'm kidding. All right, so what we're gonna do today is see how far, or also I might do, because I want to do this regularly, I might do an hour and then stop and then pick up next time and continue. And if you can catch the stream, you can watch the videos. So that's the intro one. We're gonna start. I don't think I want to do, well, we might do this, but I don't want to spend a whole stream just doing the navigation. I think we're going to try to go through the general layout so we can create some content in Keystatic and have a little bit more sense of progress. And then we can go and add dark theme and stuff like this if we want. So let's get cracking. So we're going to start from complete scratch with an Astro project. So even if I know that it's npm create Astro at latest, I always come here and clickety-click, that thing. That's how I start a project. Astro 4.3 is here. Sweet! So, let's cd into our sites. And we're going to make a new directory called ThemeForest Challenges. Hopefully I can continue doing this because this sounds really fun to me. Let me know in the comments if there's any problems with the audio, or I'm apologizing for clearing my throat. I'm a little bit under the, it's not even the weather, it's the humidity and the pollen and all that stuff. So, ThemeForest Challenges, and we're going to npm create a new Astro site here that we are going to call Spotlight. Hello, Houston. Shaggy Spectrum. Now let's go with, was it Spectrum? No, Spotlight. Bang. We're gonna start, no, we won't use the block template. We'll start from complete scratch. Although we could have a content collect now because it's not gonna be what we want. Do you plan to write TypeScript? Yes. 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 I'll probably share the repo for that one. Again, might do some legal checks before. I really want this to be as far away from being perceived as like taking people's hard work and donating it for free to others without consent. Hopefully this is not how it's perceived. Let me add just the key light so I have a, of course it doesn't work now. No key light should be added then. That's fine, you can see my face. So we're doing a fresh new Astro project. I don't know if I want to start building with Tailwind and then adding Keystatic. Probably. But I also don't want to do a whole stream without introducing the schema. So maybe we'll just do a little basic layout. And then instead of having hard-coded stuff, we'll create content. All right, so seems like it's been done. So cd Spotlight, and we're gonna fire this in VS Code. Double click, full screen. All right, so we have a brand new Astro project. I want to use Tailwind, so I will straight off the bat go npx add. What do I want to add? Astro. No, npx Astro add Tailwind. And because we're gonna use Keystatic later, I'll also add React. And do we want to use MDX or MarkDoc? I don't really care. It's not going to change. You know what? Let's use MarkDoc just because I haven't played yet with the new experimental MarkDoc. So. But if you follow along, dear visitor, you can use MDX and it's going to be, everything's going to be exactly the same except the file format output. There's a fly somewhere behind me. This is the joys of open windows and open doors. Fun fact, while it's loading, did you know I had a snake once snoodle under my desk? I was not prepared. That was pretty early on, one of the first days I was working in this new space. Snake just noodled between my desk and my legs, and that was creepy. Was not a dangerous one, but I only learned that after when I googled the snake colors and stuff. That was fun. All right, so Astro has added the Tailwind, React, and MarkDoc things to our config file, which is lovely. Lovely. It also created a Tailwind config. .mjs though, I think I want to switch it to TypeScript. But I don't know if it's going to complain because of the integration. I'll leave it like this. So it set up the content array to make sure that every extension under the sun is covered in case we want to use MDX, Markdown. But see the MarkDoc files, although we're not going to add classes in the MarkDoc file. Svelte, TypeScript, Vue, all good. So I say, why don't we just fire up this website, npm run dev, and see what we got. We're expecting the 4321 port to have the good stuff. Now, where did it go? It went in one of my 6,000 desktop windows. I'll bring it here. Ta-da! That's looking very good to me. You know why? Because it's got this CSS reset from Tailwind. I believe that's an H1 tag. Hey. I usually have the code left from the browser. Okay, I need to Zen mode Command K Zen. There we go. And so if we look at the pages index, it's gonna be an H1, I think. Yeah. So the fact that this H1 is normalized to 16 pixels tell me Tailwind's working. So our job is half done there. That was easy. So should I put it in a different window? No, what I'll do is I'll move the Spotlight templates just under the one we're building. So we can, sorry if you can hear the fly, it's like trying to find its way somewhere. So this is what we have and this is what we want. I don't want to customize the config too much. Well, yeah, live coding time, what can go wrong? I completely agree. Well, that's what I'm trying to find out. I am extremely good at making polished videos that look very professional and engaging, but there's a lot of work that goes behind the scene of like messing up and doing again. And so I want to force myself to be comfortable with the chaos in public. Takes some guts, but we're getting there. So I was saying I don't know if I want to go pixel perfect reproduction and make sure all the font sizes and stuff fits the in the Tailwind theme fit exactly, so we can do the like screenshot overlay comparison. I don't think I want to do this because I want to show more like the prototyping and the vibe of working with Tailwind. But we can do this and then do a pass where we're like, okay, now let's go and fine tune the theme values to really like nail it down. Okay. So we're gonna start with this. I think, I don't know. Yeah, let's do the navigation. We'll just maybe have some placeholder. Don't know if I'll do the theme switcher, but just we'll use, oh my, this fly. I'm sure like most of the time I complain of things that you can't hear, but it gets sent in my ears with the mic and it's like a bit weird. Sorry. Yeah, let's use icons from lucid.dev. They're really good and we're gonna find stuff that sort of matches. So we're gonna start with a header. I believe that it's present. You can hear that fly. Tell me you can hear it because it's so loud. Yeah, so the header is there everywhere and it's like sticky. Oh, okay, it's sticky when you go down. And when you go back up, it appears. But it doesn't, it's like, it doesn't take space from the, it doesn't push the content down. It's just like a appear, disappear thing. So it sticks for 200 pixel, 300. Okay. Anyway, let's do it static for now, and then we can worry about this. So this is our layout. Oh no, there's no layout. So let's start by doing this. I'll do a new folder. Layouts. This fly is going crazy. Base.astro. And you know what I think I have to do before I forget is, oh no, it's covering everything in SRC. Okay. I thought it was going to be just pages, but it is a good. All right, so we have I'm going to move all of that, the home page, into our base layout. We won't worry about like meta tags and titles and stuff, although you should. This is not this. The only thing we're going to do here is spotlight. And so instead of h1 Astro, inside the body, we're going to have the slot, which in Astro tells whatever, when you use that layout, whatever is nested inside, you put in here. And so now our homepage can become just import base layout from layouts slash base.astro. Are you kidding me? The lawnmower is starting again. Base layout and close the base layout. Come on, you know what I'm doing. Yes. So what I've done is just move stuff so I can reuse the base layout on multiple pages. This still looks exactly the same, but now we have sort of like a page template that we can use. So our layout is going to contain the navigation, but just for sake of organization, although I don't know if we need to do this. Nav, bar. Astro seems to Pascal case, it's called, like capital case, all the components, and it kind of makes sense because then when you import it, it's the same casing for the component and the file. So maybe I can do this. Let's have our little front matter. This is the nav, just to check that it works. And then in our base layout, we're gonna import this. Yes. And then before the slot here, we're gonna have a nav bar. Yee, look at this, this is taking incredible shape. I might turn the fan on in a second because it's getting pretty hot. All right, so we have a max width container. This is a flex layout. Oh, Robin is here. Hello, Robin. Good to see you, man. So we're gonna have a flex container with a max width, and then display a justify content space between, so it pushes this on the left, this on the right. I'm going to just do a skeleton of this first. God, it's hot. All right. So the whole thing can be a nav, I guess. Yeah. Let's go header. That's where we'll put the max width container. So class equals max width 7XL px4 py nothing. Okay, something's not okay. I need to do something. Oh, I don't know. That's why usually I don't use the Tailwind extension, because I set it up manually, because then I know how to control everything. I kind of want to add the Prettier plugin, but I don't know how it plays with that integration. Well, we'll find out. npm install Prettier plugin Tailwind CSS and Prettier plugin Astro. Wait. And so for this to work, you need a Prettier config file in your project at the same level than the node modules where you install the plugin. I think I can do Prettier RC. And so we want the plugins array to have, I think, the Astro first. The rule of thumb is to always put the Tailwind CSS one last. Well, it was anyway. Okay, so now there's the likelihood of it working is pretty low in my I know how to set it up in Astro when I set Tailwind manually. I don't know if this is going to work like this, but we'll find out very soon. Okay, so the Prettier config has done. That should really not be something I do in this stream, but I will just Some people might just tune off because of this opinion, but I just like no semicolons. Okay, so this is our layout. I'm formatting it. Let's go back to our navbar, hit save, and now at least it's formatting the Astro HTML markup, which is great. And if I go SM, text, red, 500, if the prettier plugin works, it's gonna push it to the right. Yes, it works. Sweet. All right, so what I've done here is I've added a max width container, which is almost the full width. So maybe let's go 6XL so you can see it a bit more. Is it? No, it's not centered. That's why MX Auto. So MX Auto centers it, and now basically our max width container goes from here to here. So we have a nav, which is going to be the flex container. Class equals flex, justify between, and items center to vertically align what's inside there. And here we're going to have a logo, spotlight. And then let's have a little container for the multiple links, which are theme switcher, search, sign up. Okay. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna, what the hell was that? pdiv, P Diddy. Switcher. I just do p tags for now because it's like placeholder stuff. And then, hey, this is a link. What's it called? Sign up? Sign up. Okay, so let's look at what we have. It's gonna look exactly the same. See? Amazing. So these three can also be a little flex item center to align them. So the div here can be flex items center, and let's have a gap of 4 to push them a little bit on the side. Nice. And we're going to give a vertical padding. It could be given to each link, so then when you hover, you don't have to go straight on the thing. You can go a little bit lower. I don't know. Yeah, whatever. The button is going to create that space. But regardless, we want some vertical spacing around all of this. So in my header, or the nav here, py vertical level 4. Okay. So let's first do, what are we going to, oh my God, navigate, sign up. Let's do this sign up button. So it's uppercase, a little bit bold, like semi-bold, whatever. Rounded corner peel button, black with a hover slightly lighter. So we can do this on this button. So class. Let's go Zen mode for this. This is the opposite of Zen mode, sorry. There we go. So text white, text white and uppercase, and BG black. This is not the exact colors, but this is gonna get us there. Yeah, beautiful. Then we're going to add some PX, maybe 5, PY, maybe 3, not 77, and rounded peel shape. Hey, what happened? Rounded peel? Rounded dash peel. It's not peel. I said peel shape, but the actual word is full. And see, the great thing about Tailwind is because that class didn't exist, it's plopped up to the start. It's the closest thing to type safety you will get. If one of the problems with strings is you can't really, if you delete a value from the config, nothing's gonna underline the class saying, hey, this doesn't exist. But with the Prettier plugin, if you save it and it doesn't exist in the theme, it's going to put it right at the start. Now, it stays at the start with this. It might be the case that rounded full is actually the thing that would have come on first. Yep. Okay, so it actually comes first. But rounded peel came first because it didn't exist. So if I go have a class of woof, or woof, it's gonna go before everything because it doesn't exist. And Tailwind said, I don't know about this. I'll put it at the start. It's your custom CSS. You work it out. So that's pretty good. This is obnoxiously big. We're going to make it a bit smaller and tracking. So text SM. Yeah. Tracking wider. Maybe I should have split comms for that, so to make it more fun to watch. And I don't know the font weight font, semi-bold, which is 700, 600. That's a bit too big. Let's go medium. Font, medium. Any questions? Oh, Matt Pocock is here. The fancy people around the stream, I see. Everyone's fancy. Type safety, you see? So Matt has that thing where if anyone's live streaming and mentions the word type, he just appears. He's got you know how you can have trigger words for Slack or Discord where the word, I do that with Tailwind. If someone in the Slack community says Tailwind, I get a notification. I think Matt figured out how to do the audio version of this. And if someone says the word, a Matt Pocock appears. Good to see you here. Yeah, it's not type safety. It's a hint that something is wrong. Which, in a way, TypeScript is a hint that something goes wrong. Yes, the Tailwind CSS plugin tells you if the class doesn't exist. Or the way it tells you is put it at the start. You might not always notice it. But look at this. If I take this font medium and I do a mistake that would be very easy to do, font median, when I hit save, bang, it went at the start. And if I hover, that's the other way of it's telling you without telling you. If I hover, there is no information, whereas any other class will have the equivalent CSS. So if I back to medium, it goes back there, and when I hover, it tells me what it is. That is close as type safety as you. I'm sure the team is working on something way more badass. It feels like the next. I see Tailwind CSS had like milestone moments. At some point, everyone said, "Oh, the file size in dev before the just-in-time engine." Everyone was like, "I know it's purged for production, but in my dev build, I have like 5 megs of CSS, and the dev tools crush." And so this was like a pressure point that kept pressuring on the point. And eventually, the solution was the amazing just-in-time engine. I feel like the next frontier and the next thing that people say and complain about Tailwind is there's no like the type safety of strings, and you can use things like CVA by Joe Bell or Tailwind variants, or there's a lot of options to make it a little bit more structured. But I feel like at some point there will be something coming that makes it incredibly good, and then Tailwind will be back to like, holy crap, this is amazing. That's my the trust I have in the team and the vision they have. I think this is what's gonna happen. Oh, your ESLint config tells you. Yeah, okay, that's a nice. You can make it a bit more visual. Yeah, good stuff. Anyway, I love strings. I'm doing a talk about the exact reason why I love strings, and I think it makes it more accessible to designers, UI designs that do a bit of HTML and CSS. Writing strings and reasoning about strings is far easier than complex CSS objects with functions that create style sheets and all the cool stuff you can do with Vanilla Extract and Panda CSS and Style X from Facebook. But in my mind, when you prototype and you want to go fast, nothing gets close in terms of. And now I'm streaming, so I'm way slow. If I was doing it by myself, I would have built half the UI already. I'm trying to comment and explain stuff, and so this is why the speed of productivity is not great. But assembling little utility classes together is the fastest way from brain to screen feedback loop. And this is what prototyping is, right? It's like, I have an idea, I want the screen to show me this idea, and I can iterate on it fast. So whenever you hear Tailwind's dead, the next thing is the Tailwind killer. I don't think it is because of that reason alone, and there's many other reasons. Let's get back to it. where were we? We've built a button. It's still too big. You can see the vertical padding is too big, and actually we're gonna go back to even smaller text. Text XS, and the weight. Where is the weight? Why is it not wrapping? I have a weight somewhere. Font medium. I was right on it. We'll go. Oh well, it's font base, not then like the font normal. Okay, yeah, it's go back to medium. Let's stop fiddling about the button. It's good enough. Definitely good enough. Let's do the search. Ooh, that would be an amazing little dialogue with a transition. Either headless UI. I'm gonna say headless UI because Robin's here. Any library that has accessible components, you'd have a transition, and then it shows, and then it can either be a combo box autocomplete, or here just like a search thing. I won't build this, but this is where I would probably reach for a headless library. Let's just do the button with the icon. So, and we'll make it a button because it would probably be a button that triggers an action, which is revealing the search bar. So button, and text is going to be search, but we're gonna have a span because we are going to also have our lucid. Oh, look at this. Can I go Command K? No. Can I go slash? Oh, no. Search. Perfect. First one. Let's copy the whole SVG. Go back to our code. And here we're going to have that SVG here. And one of the beauties of Astro is HTML is an Astro component, or Astro is an HTML, whatever. I don't have to change any of the camel casing. I don't have to change class name. It's pasting HTML in Astro is valid. So when you switch to React, you probably have to do a few tweaks. So we want to make it, slightly lighter gray, and aligned with the little gap. So the button can be you tell me in the comments or in your head, a flex, again, wrapper with items center to vertically align both, regardless of the height, and a gap of 4. Gap of 4 is too big. We go gap 2. This is where the prototyping size is too big. So for the icon, I get rid of this here. And instead, I'll go with the class. I guess these are used, I don't know, like if you want to target something, I'll remove them because I'm not using them, but I'll go, no, Copilot, let me teach you about the size utility that makes height and width at the same time. If enough people do this, then Copilot will suggest it. Size 5, which is 20. That's pretty good. So I just realized I forgot on the button here, the hover. So on hover, let's go BG slate 900. And you see when I save, it's gonna jump right at the end of the string down there because the hover utility comes after in the Prettier plugin, which is amazing. I love this organization. You don't have to think about it. You don't have to argue with your colleagues about what order to do this. And here, for the button, so notice that both the button and the icon change color. So we're gonna do this little group hover thing, right? So on our button here, we'll give a class of group, which means that then, well, I guess I could make hover text slate 800. It's a bit lighter. And as long as I have current color here, and I haven't defined here, both will inherit. So that should work actually. I forgot how CSS works maybe. Button, hover, text slate 800. Maybe it doesn't. Okay, so let's do maybe I've typed something wrong. Let's go group. And then here, on group hover text slate 800. So when we hover the group, oh, maybe it was working. It's just way too. Let's go back. Let's go text slate 500. Yeah, so it was working. It was just not enough. Yeah, maybe black and slate 900 is a bit subtle. So let's go 700 here. So basically what I've done here is use inheritance, what people refer to as the cascade, but it's not really what the cascade is. But if you put a class on the parent element, not all, but many CSS properties get inherited by the whole tree inside of that parent node where you put the class. So I've set the hover text color to slate 500. And so anything inside of this parent, which is the button, that hasn't defined the text color is going to inherit that. So one of the complaints about Tailwind is like, oh, you're not using the cascade. It's like what they often, not always, but often what they mean is like you're losing the beauty of like inheritance, and you're not. You can set a font size on the body tag, a font family, and then the whole site gets it, which we're actually going to do next. I think I'll leave that to it for now because the navbar is not the most exciting thing. It's not a cop. Yeah, it is a cop out. I don't want to. Let's do the. I want to focus on. Let's go on the homepage. That nice hero section, and then we can come back if we want. We'll just have a border bottom on our header. Where is it? Header here. I'll put it on the header because there's. Well, this is gonna not break what I want to do, but I'll move it to the nav later. But let me show you. So, border B border slate 300, and what you'll see is it's not using the whole width because we have the max width container. So we need to move the max width container to the actual nav, so that our header has the whole width, if that makes sense. Bang, and now, hey, look at this. And what's the color doing? Yeah, it's pretty close. I think it's not really slate, but I use slate for absolutely every gray, regardless of what the design does. I just like slate. Actually, I'll go back to 300 because of video stream, sometimes crunching the colors a bit. All right, so that's our header, and now we're going to do the hero section under. Wow, I love that font. It's very nice. Any questions? Ah, yes, there are questions. What is the font you use for VS Code? I am using Dank Mono by Phil Pluckton, I think. Dank Mono. It's a paid font. It's pretty cheap. You should get it if you use it. I paid for it. No, I did. The throat clearing sounded like I did pay for it. It's a great font, and I love it. Phil Pluckton. Yeah, Dank Mono is what I'm using. I've been using it for years. I used Operator Mono before that, which was way more expensive. And I like Dank Mono. Just has that nice little ligatures that some people despise, but I love it. Okay, let's tackle the. Let me move the comment out. Let's tackle the hero. So I'll make another component. You don't have to, but hero.astro. H1 hero. So we're gonna go in our layout. No, not in our layout, in our page. So now our page has the base layout, which has the navigation in it. And here we're moving into our, let's see if I can auto import. No? Come on, mate. Mate. Hero. Okay, it doesn't want to import it. Import hero. Why? From, yeah, you knew it. You knew it, but you didn't want to help me. So now we have our hero section here. Yeah? Yeah. We're going to have the same max width container. I gone with 6XL, so I'm gonna stick with it. So, is it part of the main tag? It is, but I think the main tag should probably go here. You ideally want one main tag in each page. I don't think you have to have a main tag, but you definitely don't want to have more than one. So I'll just put it in the layout and then not here. So the hurt my eyes stream. Okay, so this is probably the light theme, a light theme flashbang illusion. I am sorry, you wearing sunglasses on the avatar, so you should be good. If I was using dark theme, I would still have the white theme here, and you would get even more flashbangs out of your socks. Sorry, I'm using light theme for everything I do because I work in a very bright environment, and also my eyes struggle to look at white text on dark background. One day we'll have video capabilities of flipping dark modes. I am sure like video will become just some code that runs, and you can change parameters like the zoom level and stuff, and it's getting there. Actually, I've seen already tools do that. Pretty cool. All right, so div max width 6XL, and we're gonna center it with MX auto. There must be a math formula with how slow you get, or I get, when I code. What? Why is it not centered here? I bet I didn't have MX auto. When I talk about what I code, I slow right down, and that's a skill I want to develop. So let me check the navbar. MX auto. Oh, yeah, okay. So remember when we moved the max width container, we have to move the MX auto too. This is what's happening. So now they're both aligned, very nice, and we can have a big hero. So H1, let me eyeball this to text 7XL. There's a vertical padding of 40 probably. This is very eyebally, but it might work. So hero, go to definition. So PY 40, bang, and then the H1 will have a class of text 7XL font, not black. Black is always too much. I could inspect the elements, but look at this. I mean, the padding is way too big, but the size was pretty. Let's go 24. This is where the prototyping, it's even too big, 20. This is where I love Tailwind. You just start eyeballing stuff and you get really fast. So now, with a bit of magic trick, select this, go back to our code, change this to that. It's not gonna be the same because line height and line width. So there's obviously a width container, but there's a smaller one here. So instead of having everything in a, let's say like a grid or a max width, I think I'll set the max width here. And it might be a character length actually, I don't know. If you've read Refactoring UI, that you should. If you haven't, there's this concept of line length, which is equally important as line height. So let's go max width. Can we do this? 75, was it characters? CH, is that a thing? I think that's a thing. Let's go way less than 45. I think the golden, well, it's not working. Max width, or it's line, what is it? Is it width? What? Let me check this. CH, unit, CSS, MDN. give me the CH. The prose has a nice max width prose. What am I doing? Where's the list of... Okay, I can't think when I'm on stream. I don't know what's happening with me. Here, no, I don't want centimeters. We want some relative length. The advanced measure of the glyph 0. So if we wanted 75 zeros, so that's what I thought. Maybe I put it on the wrong. Hey, yeah, text balance. Text balance is another good idea. So text balance will not limit the character width, but what it will do is make sure that the lines are balanced like its name. So look at this, the text balance and then the text pretty. Pretty is only making sure the last line doesn't have only one single character, which is called an orphan. So if there's one, it'll say, hey, let me bring a little sibling with you, so you get at least 2. And balance is trying to balance the lines as much as possible, but it's still too wide. So, and let me show you pretty just for the difference. Text pretty will have instead, if I was making this smaller, you can see that, oh, I'm surprised that inspiration, maybe there's limits to the, like what the browser can, sometimes it's like I can't do more than 2 words because of the size of the font. I think that's what's happening. But here text balance is not a bad idea. Although, what does it look like, the design? They have the single word. Now I'm not gonna go with that, but yes, that's what it does. But what I wanted is to have a max width. Maybe something, yeah, okay, so the max width is working. So I might get away with like 3XL or something. Yes, you know, like it kind of works. It actually works. But I wanted to, why is the max width 40 CH? Let me, what does it output? Max width, yeah. Doesn't seem to work, and I don't know why. I've done it a lot of times. Oh yeah, it works. It was just too many characters. Okay, so max width 20. So if I went for 2, it would probably look silly. Okay, so it's not gonna break the word because of word break, but it's, if anything is more than 2 characters, which everything is, it's going to jump to the next line. And if it was 5, we might have, let's go 8. 8, we might have like 2 words like and find that just fit. So do what you please. You could go 20 characters, or as we found out, 3XL kind of works. It depends. Now is a good time to add the custom font, I guess. What is the blue terminal I'm using? Oh, the blue. I think you mean hyper. Did I have a blue terminal somewhere? Yeah, that thing. That is a hyper. I used to use iTerm for many years, but hyper is pretty cool and you can customize it with a bunch of things. So that's what it is. Right. I think because I've looked it up before, I don't want to cheat and look at how the layout is made and do it, but let's look at the computed value for the font family. And it's called ThemeForest, which is a Google font. So there might be a better way to do it in Astro, but for now I'll just copy the link tag and put it in the layout. So let's search for ThemeForest. Variable font. Variable fonts is something I need to learn and look into. I haven't really, I've known about it since they were brand new, like years and years ago, but I've never really used them as much as I should. So let's get the regular and let's get the, you know what, 600. Oh, do I have the noise crisp go? Okay, so there's Poppins there that I always have because Poppins is awesome. Okay, so let's copy that link tag here. These link tags, there's 3 of them. In our layout, base layout. Yeah, we can put it here. Again, Astro is HTML, so like if you were pasting this in Next.js, you would have lots of like, oh, you shouldn't use a link. Like there would be a lot of different things. There's reasons for, same in Remix, like it would probably tell you to use the links function, which then lets you handle layouts and what gets loaded much better. But for here, just paste that, and now I can go in my Tailwind config, DM sans. So we'll go in font family. We'll extend the font family object and go DM sans, I guess. And yeah, that's, thank you, Copilot. So now, speaking of what? Not launch, layout. Speaking of inheritance, if I go on the body tag here and I go font DM sans, you can see that it created this new utility that sets that. Now the whole site should have font DM sans, but it doesn't. What have I done wrong? Is it not how it's spelled? This is definitely not font DM sans. This is the system. Oh, it is. What? Oh yeah, it is the, I guess the R, the T, I can see it. If I look at the shape of the T, let me zoom in just there, and the R, it's definitely it. So it's just the weight that that threw me off because I guess they use 700. So let's go back in our here. I'll add what? Wait, 9. Why is it like this? 400, 600, 700. Is that what I do? And then in our hero, we'll go not semi-bold, but actually bold, which is 700. And now, I love it. No, it's too big. I started, there's the thing I tweeted about this where you start getting confused, even if I shouldn't get confused because it doesn't look anything close to it. But when you build designs, there's always, yo, what's going on? Yeah, okay, so maybe I don't have the semi-bold. I think I broke my let's go back to Google. What have I done wrong? I want to add the 700. I thought that's what I did by yeah, that's exactly what I did. I added 700. Oh, I don't have this. Yeah, 4, 6, 7. I want the 600 and it's there. Man, what's going on? I definitely have the 600. So that looks like it's been boosted up to like 7 or 8. It says that, but I don't trust it. Okay. So I guess this is 500. What? I'm gonna cheat and look. Ooh, see that line height, fancy. Font weight. Okay, we have. Yeah, it's 700 and it's bigger. What are you? Oh, okay. I know. It has anti-alias on the body probably. So let's do what they do, what the cool kids do, and go 700. Let me check in my base layout. I still have 700 here. I do. And so they've probably done the designer thing of anti-alias. That makes everything a bit thinner and crisper. This is looking absolutely nothing like it should. Is it the same font? It is the same font. Is it just the line, is it just the tracking that makes that and the line height? Maybe. Hero. This is why I like streaming, because the most random thing, like the ch unit, I've taught something to someone, which is always nice. So here we go tracking wider, and what's the letter spacing for 7xl? It's line height 1. So let's try /1. I saw it's 1.12, so that's cheating, but let's go 1.1. So basically, oh, I can't define the font size like this. Or maybe because it's custom. Yeah, that works. So I've defined the line height in line with the... Does it look closer now? It looks horrible. What am I doing wrong? I don't want the tracking wider, definitely. Man, I feel like something's fundamentally wrong. Is it actually narrower? I feel like the font is literally not the same. It is not far out. Look at the eyes is square, and then the eye is round here. What's going on? They have a customized font? Do they have a customized version? Or there's like specific font settings? ThemeForest. Right, they have anti-alias. I was right about this. ThemeForest 9-point regular bold. Anyway, we'll go with maybe they have fonts have some special things where you can change some characters, like Tailwind CSS does with the A single story A. Maybe that's what's happening. It really does not look that great like this though. Oh well, we'll go with that. Oh, would that be different with CSS imports? I don't know. Or you meant just by adding the different font sizes? This is looking absolutely nothing like it should. Yeah. I usually don't say that, but here was the perfect case. Anyway, let's move on. We can work that out later. Let's do, that's gonna be a paragraph tag under the not paragraph tag. So here, P, bang. So it's gonna be long and skinny, and we're going to make it not long and not skinny. So margin top a little bit. Now you can see the space here looks equal between this and that. It might not be. And this is where you can use space between utilities, or have a grid with one column or flex, and then you use the gap as a stacking mechanism. So I might try that. I'll make this a grid and then go bloop, bloop, bloop. Let's go grid. So if it's a grid, nothing should change because it's one column by default. But then if I go gap 8, now we've created our spacing. Let me put that on the side. We've created our spacing with the grid gap here, you can see. So if I turn on the grid here, and now I add a button. I forgot what it says. Say something. You can see that our button will also, but grid is now made this. I gotta change the alignment. But it's one way to handle spacing, and I've seen people using that more and more since grid is widely supported. It says subscribe. So maybe we can do this. Subscribe. I'm gonna do something which is okay. That's why people would scream, this is why Tailwind you recreate the same classes again. This is a mess. You can't maintain this. I'm gonna copy these classes and you're going to deal with it. Yes, you can create a button component. I would never create what I would not do is go in I don't even know how. There's no CSS file with the Astro integration. I would not go in my CSS file and then use @apply and create a .btn class. I would go here and create a button component and then use it as a reusable component. But for now, I'll go here in the hero and I will paste the same classes. And you can be horrified all you want. This won't change anything. You can find and replace them very easily. We're doing beautiful art. So we want a left align thing. And this is where I play the grid lottery. For some reason, I'm super fluent with flex and like justify content, align items. But when it comes to grid, I can't. I gotta go on the. I used to go on the Chris Coyer amazing grid CSS grid posts, and now I go on the Tailwind docs, which are even better when you work with Tailwind. So justify start is I think what I want. No, that's all of this. Justify content start. See what I mean? Justify start is like the whole grid items, but I want the element inside. Justify. What do we have? Justify items. No, justify. Probably justify items start. Yeah. So justify start is the cells, the whole cells will just justify to the start, or the whole, you could see it was like aligning to the longest thing, max content. And now justify items tells the element, hey, go to the start of the grid. So next thing we need to do is make this text bigger, and let me remove the DevTools and the grids. We've got the idea. Okay, so that's text XL or 2XL. I think item start would do the same, but vertically in CSS grid. I think, I don't know. You know what? Tailwind CSS / grid template. This is the bomb of the bomb. So what I did just then is justify items, which is I love how you can see there's the grid cells, but then the element inside of it bloop, goes to the start or the middle, the end, etc. Where before I had justify content, which is, that's the grid parent, that's just the cells themselves. And items center, no, justify items is what I did. Items, what you were saying is for vertical the same. Yeah, I'm glad I got this right. These look beautiful. I remember, I don't know if I built this, but I definitely helped when we were redesigning the examples with this little stroke. That was a fun times. Okay. Text 2XL, no, text XL, and then font semi-bold, and then let's do it with the character width again. So the p tag class text XL font medium. Let's look at it. It's not bad. It's probably we're gonna have a fun time paddling because we have a different looking font. Yeah, let's go with that. And max width. Let's go with 12 characters. Okay. So the golden, I don't know I think the rule is between 40 and 80 or 75 is where you want to land for ideal line length. Let's go 35 to 80. I'll say is still within that range. Look at this. There's definitely, the font looks completely different, which is just so weird. I don't like how this looks. I almost want to go with Poppins. But no, we're going to resist the urge. And I mean, this is definitely not close. Yes, so this is a comment that I want to address. I'm very normal, and watching me trial and error like the rest of you is reassuring. That's what I was saying. When I make YouTube videos, I polish the heck out of them, and it might look like I'm this superhero that just like pours gold out of my brain in 2 seconds. I'm going to say when I work off stream, I'm much more productive. And if you don't believe me, give it a try. There's a few people on this planet, and I think Adam Wathen is one of them, who can stream and retain full or what looks like full productivity, even on live stream. Tejas Kumar is one of them too. I am not. I think because I want to talk, explain stuff, and then talk to the comments, it's taken half an hour, whatever it's taken to create this hero section, and I can build that in 3-4 minutes, honestly, if I'm offline. Yes, I know my font is not working. Thanks for the... I think I'm going to change it to... There's bits... Yeah, I don't know. Yes, I was saying I try to explain things, and I want to experiment perhaps with these silent streams. I've seen Ryan Florence do that. Oh, Ryan Florence is another person that can do that live stuff and nail it still. He's got this concept where he puts some music and he's still on camera, but he does not talk or engage in the comments or whatever, and it just builds the stuff, and that might be the pace to creativity. Because if I want to demo that Tailwind is a fast prototyping tool, and then I take half an hour to build this with the broken font, this is not it. Render font in Chrome computed. Yeah, no, so I've tried this, and it actually, the computed is DM Sans. If we go in computed here and look for the font family, it's DM Sans. It is. Oh, I'm looking at the... See, I've started getting confused, which is it means we're on the right track. But if I do it here, and I look at the computed, the font family is also DM Sans. This is not, that's the system UI, and then DM Sans. But it's just not the same DM Sans. Maybe they have a custom font that's... We aren't here for the quickness. Okay, that's good to know. I was here for the quickness, but I like that the struggle is perhaps more useful. Who, give me a thumb up if you want me to use Poppins instead, because maybe they have a custom font also called DM Sans, which is not that. I guess maybe I could look at the DM Sans and look at the eye is round here. Yeah, so my font is not working. Pre-connect. What is going on? I didn't even... Is there some console errors with the font? The font is the right one, but it's just not working. Tell me, like, have I done something completely wrong? I think what I need to look is how the font is named, because I used Copilot. I trusted blindly Copilot. DM Sans, but that's what we have. It's been put in an array, but it is still DM Sans. Oh, is this what you want? No, it is not what you want. Font family DM Sans. No, because the output is what's expected. It's that. It's exactly what... Oh, I don't understand. Oh, it's the variable font maybe, and I don't have the... I'm confused as hell. You know what? This is... I know we're not here for the speed, but this is doing my head in. I'm gonna go get my Poppins font, and we're gonna make a different take. And also, perhaps, if I have a different font, I'm less likely to get sued by... I'm less likely to get sued by the creator of this template, because it's obviously different. Let's go 2, 4, 6, and 7. And I'll do the Google tags again, and if the link tags, and if something's wrong again, then something's wrong for sure. Base layout. Font DM Sans, yes. Whoa, whoa. So I'll go in Tailwind config and go pop in, save, bang. See, when I work by myself, that's at the speed at work, and I don't have to. Okay, so something is wrong with how I did my font, because now it's supposed to be. I don't even know anymore. This is not Poppins. You guys are lying to me. Font. Yeah, okay. What have I done? Oh yeah, it's called TM-Sense. Yes, now let's look at nice. Okay, that is more like what I want, but it's way too thick. Way too thick. Okay, we're gonna rock Poppins from now on, friends. And in my hero, I'll down that to semi-bold. And this is gonna look very, yeah, see, this is nice. Nice. And now everything is not gonna look like the design, but it's great thing because I don't want it to look exactly like the design. And this is where you like, size is in between, whatever. I'm gonna go back to 6XL. Okay, I'm gonna call it a success, even if it's not. This button, okay, now we're gonna hit the problem of, oh, Simon, you've created 2 buttons and they both, the font is too small. Look at it, it's small and too thin. So you need to change it. So you have to go and change it everywhere. Oh my God, this is terrible. Let me look for that. What? Why did I open the terminal? I'm going to find and replace. Where do I use this? I use it in 2 places. Yeah. All right. So everywhere I'm using this, I want to change the font size to text SM. Oh my God. And if you had 600, you could still do that. And the other thing I want to do, let's get that. I should have 2 of them as well. I want to change the font size to, font weight to semi-bold. And I've successfully searched and replaced 2 things. Let's go back to the Explorer, hit save, although it's already saved. And I genuinely, for a split second, thought I was about to go back to the, it's starting to look, it's not close, but it's starting to do the thing where you might get confused. Okay, I'm happy with that. Yeah, now all my fonts is a bit smaller, but this is where you would go in the Tailwind config and say, you know what, 6XL is 60 pixels, and then 7XL, we saw 72 is a bit too big. So you'd go 6.5 XL and add a value, or damn it, I already forgot what it was. But I'm not a fan of when you prototype to try to get like extra. These arbitrary values are amazing, but you write new CSS every single time you create one. 375 and 7XL is what, 425? 4.5. So let's go text that 4.125 rems. And see, now you get something that's like a little bit closer. Anyway, this is a way you can do it. And then if you find yourself wanting this exact font size all the time, well, you create it. You go in the Tailwind config and you do a font size that is an array of that and that. You know what? Instead of telling you how to do it, let me show you. You go font family, and we extend, so we want to keep everything. And now there's 2 schools. You can go 6.5 XL because it's in between in the theme. Or you can say something, I want font display because it's the display hero, whatever. So you can do an array, and the first will be the size. First will be the size, and the second one will be the line height. And you can also have here an object for the second, and then you can have letter spacing, font weight, all these things. But here we just want that and the comma. So now if we go back to our hero and we go text display, oh, it's not text. What? Yes, it is. What? Oh, I've done something wrong. I have done something wrong. Tailwind config. Font. What? Why have it got it both? This is super weird. I don't know what I've done. Oh my god. Okay, yeah. See, that's what I would never do this if I were. The font family is here. Somehow I wanted font size, and I nested it in the. This was weird. The joys of live streaming. So now text display should be a thing. Tell me it is. Tailwind config. Extend, font size, display. Yes. And then font family, Poppins. So I've created a new font size called display. So text/display should definitely be a thing. Did I break the? Let me restart the server. I don't. I may have. I may have messed up hard enough that it broke stuff. Text display. Why does it not exist? I misspelled it. Thank you. No. This is incredible. Like, I cannot believe how my brain doesn't see this if I live stream. And also, that's a very legitimate, so now it's gonna work. That's a very legitimate reason for changing this to TypeScript. I'm gonna do it right now, and hopefully, okay, so I have to change a few things here. Import config from Tailwind CSS / config, or from Tailwind CSS, I think. I don't know. So we're gonna do this thing, and it's going to satisfy. I don't like that I don't have any autocomplete. We might have something that tells us, hey, we cannot find a Tailwind config. Reload the window, always does wonders. Okay, so that thing doesn't exist. Okay, yeah, import type config. Okay, so let me, if I comment out the content array, this is not going to satisfy the config, and it should tell us you're missing the content. Nice. So the reason TypeScript config is good is if I had my fonts here, you'd think that it tell me, but it's not telling me. I don't know. All right, I've done that for now. I thought it was, yeah, well, at least it would have helped me get it. Maybe I've said it wrong again because live stream. Anyway, thank you for the support. If you ever see someone do a live demo on stage, they will make mistake and you will help them. It's just the rule. You gotta be the lifeline. So now the text display should jump to the right. Yay, and it should work. And now we have our display text, which is but only add this to the config if you use it more than once. Because your theme should be a design system and a curated list of selections that are coherent. Yeah, so if you add all these values in your theme that you only use once, this becomes not a system, it's just like a graveyard of collection. Like you just create a reusable thing that you don't reuse, and it adds noise rather than organization. So start with an arbitrary value, and then if you're like, okay, I'm going to use it more than once. So what I'm showing you now is the exact opposite. I'm probably not going to use it again, but I've done it. So I would likely not do that unless this becomes, you know what, the blog post, the blog title will probably have the same, so that will be fine. But rule of thumb, start with an arbitrary value like this, and then promote it to a theme value if it's a real theme value that you reuse. If that makes sense. And there's always also someone in the audience that will not help but throw tomatoes. We also need a bit of heckling. This is good. Nice comment. Maybe without satisfy it would. So Tailwind config. What do you mean? So export something like this. Const config, which is a config equals, and then export default config like this. Okay, it might be because it's a partial thing, or like a, yeah, partial allow, no, optional config. Oh, anyway, this is where Matt, if Matt Pocock is still there, he can jump, turn the camera on, I can invite him in the stream and just do a tangent, but there's something that I'm not doing right. Anyway, I recommend using the TypeScript config just for the sake of, if you want to extend a thing, you can just look for it instead of just guessing. Although the setup that was initially with the import type little comment also does it. Well, I'll try one more thing that Jason suggests, is to define the default value of the config as an empty. What? Oh no, that's what, yeah. That's what I had done. Yeah, okay, so yeah, it's surprising, but maybe it might be the tsconfig. Honestly, I don't know enough about TypeScript to know how to fix this. I'm gonna keep going, but yeah. I do use TypeScript. I do see the value, and I use it a lot for when I do components with props, and then I want to have style objects that make sure that they satisfy a record that has all the values of the props. This is terrific for that. But I'm definitely not your DevTools person that's going to change deep TypeScript stuff. So I'm going to move on, especially on stream. All right, moving on. What are we doing next? Because I want to, I have a meeting in 8 minutes. I should go to it probably. I want to add, I was gonna add Keystatic because I want to then start creating I don't know what order to do things. Now let's create a basic grid here. This is all the same, so it's gonna be like a carousel or whatever category. Yeah, let's keep building the UI, and then in the next stream, I'm going to add Keystatic. I'll probably do it tomorrow. So let's continue. I'll hopefully can go a little bit faster. So hero is not done, but, and also like we should do responsive stuff, but let's prototype the desktop version first. So this then has a little either border bottom or HR divider. I think it's just the section. We can use the border for the section here. And then let's do a section called categories, which is all of that until the call to action here. Nice. So back in my page, we have the hero. Why are you not happy now? What have I done? Oh, I know what I've done. Thank you. I don't know if this is the right thing just yet. H2 categories. Dot stop. Why? Okay. Let's import categories from component categories, And here we'll have our categories. Bro. Righto. So we can go and work from within the categories here. So right now it looks like this. First thing we'll do is add a border top. Border T, and I had border T, and then border slate 400 is I think what I had. And let's add some vertical padding of 24 just to create some spacing. Okay, and there's a bit more spacing here, so do I care? Yeah, I do care. It's good to care. But now I see my buttons are too thin. Anyway, let's prototype and not get bogged down. I might just go in the hero. And so see there's a PY20 here. So maybe we go PT20, PB24, 28 to make it a little bit more pronounced. All right. So we have another max width container. And this is where you can use the Tailwind container, which sets the max width and with responsive behavior instead of repeating. I don't mind repeating at all. There's nothing in this whole section that bleeds out outside of the max width container until the footer. So we're pretty safe to go with here a div max width 6XL MX auto px-4 so it doesn't touch the edges ever. So now we're nicely aligned, except we're not because I didn't add px4 to all of these, which I should. There's a conversation to have if you have px4 just for the mobile, and then when you know it's not going to touch the breakpoints, you reset it to 0. I don't think it matters that much. So like you could have XL px0, or if you were Tailwind Labs and you were doing Tailwind UI components, you go SM px6 LG px8. This is engraved in my brain. This is the thing that every component uses. But we'll go just px4 for now, which means in the hero, I'll also here add px4 on the whole thing. And in the nav bar, I'll add it px4 here where I have the max width container. And you can see we have 4 all around, so we can promote that to just p-4. Oh, no, because I have it here already. Well, I'll remove it from here. So now we should be all aligned perfectly. Look at this. This is where you can come with the inspection tool and just, well, you can't because it's not high enough. But believe me, it's very precisely aligned. Look at this. Nice. Okay. Let me check the comments. I haven't checked in a bit. Okay, we're good. I don't know how to see who's currently online, how many people. Ooh, yeah, 28 people. Ooh, that's more than I thought. That's cool. 28 people watching me struggle doing basic stuff. Yay! All right, so this now is going to be an H2 tag because we have the H1 tag here. Every time you have a section, you should have at least one heading tag. We're going to have more than one here. So this is a flex space between, justify between, and then align center. There's the heading and then a link that goes to a page. Ooh, I like the, although that tells, usually this top right arrow kind of tells you going outside the website on an external link, but so let's do this. And this is going to be a repeat. This is exactly the same as this. So we need a category component as well. And this now, that's what I meant by, I don't know if it's going to be the thing. This is just going to be an ordered list with like categories inside, but Anyway, category grid, category list. I don't know, naming things. This is why prototyping without components might be better at the start. You never know what you want to abstract, and you always abstract the wrong thing. So this might become an li because it's going to be nested inside an ordered list. And we might do a component that can take a tag, like a fancy as prop. But let's go with the div to start with, just to annoy people, I guess. So div, this is what I'm talking about here in this is that one block. Let me zoom out. I'm on this ridiculously zoomed in. No, I'm not zoomed in. I just have a high. So one category is going to be that. And then categories is going to be the list of them stacking. Back to zoom level 0. And I'm going to here have, you know what, that could be a section actually. Yeah, that's going to be a section. And then the category itself. So we have a div, which is a flex, and then justify between and items center. What the hell? Okay. And here we have the H2 that says creativity, I think it is. And then on the other side, we have a link that says view all. It doesn't say that, but we'll make it say that. Can you have a section inside a list? Yeah, I guess you can have li. I don't know if this is a semantic thing. If I wanted the categories to be an ordered list and then each, I'll try if someone wants to correct me. Maybe David Lure will join. He was here yesterday and he can tell. He definitely knows accessibility stuff. So let's turn this instead of that into, but then why is it just gonna be UL? This is silly. See, I abstracted the wrong thing already. So if I go in my page, I'm gonna get rid of that and rid of that. And instead I'm going to have I just want to copy the what I want to copy that. I'm gonna go in my pages, and now I'm annoyed because I want to keep it like component-y and nice. But let's do this. UL class. God, it's hot. Oh my God. Not that. I just want that. So the UL is here. I'm backpedaling again. I'm gonna go back to my categories. Bear with me, because we're gonna have we're gonna loop through some data later, and it's gonna be nice. I'm right now I'm thinking CMS more than this can be the UL, and then here we in the future we'll import category. Import category list, and basically we're gonna have something like category equals creativity or whatever it's called. What is it called? Yeah, creativity. Let's do that, and then in our category list here, type props equals, let's have a category which is a string, and then we'll grab this. It had it, yes, props as astro.props. What? No, It's the opposite. Astro.props as props. What the hell? Cons category. I think that should work. I don't know what I'm doing. Category list props. Oh, it's equals what am brain level IQ 27 on stream. So I'm getting the category here, and basically what I'm doing here is I'm gonna output the category is not gonna be a string, it's gonna be like a whole thing in the CMS, and then but for now we can do that. I can category to output, and the class will be capitalized. Yes, thanks Hands-on Lab. The comments, the stream is delayed by 15 seconds, so I see this now, but I worked it out in between. Thank you, that's what it was. I had the column. So, what does it look like? We have the creativity and view all, which is what we want. But we've lost the max width container that I had. I forgot to put it. It's view, and then it's the name of the category. That's uppercase, so that's gonna save us. In the categories here is where I have max width 6XL, MX Auto, PX4. Yep. Okay. All right. So this is big and bold. Big and bold. Category list. So this H2 is a text XL font semi-bold. Ooh. Text 2XL. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. And then the other one, 3XL. It's gonna fall into 2.5, isn't it? No, it's good. And then this one, view creativity, is uppercase, tracking wide, text slate 500, and on hover 600. And we can have that little arrow rotation. So class equals, what did I say? Uppercase, tracking wide, then small text SM, yep, tracking wide yep, font semi-bold, yep. Yeah, it might be medium, but I'll go with this. And then text, not here, definitely not here. Text slate 500, and on hover, text slate 700. I usually jump by 100, one shade of color, but on stream I think 2 makes it more perceivable, although it's quite intense. Yeah, I'm liking what I'm liking. This is, again, slate is not the right color, but I refuse to go zinc or something else. It's just, slate is just too good. Let's go 4 and 6 instead. So we make sure we break the accessibility, accessibility contrast, just like the design does. So see that my slate has a very blue tint, where this is like a neutral gray, or almost like a zinky red warm gray. And if you've seen my YouTube video, you know that I cannot do a right arrow without saying rawr. I don't know if I forgot what. I think it's the video is where I do a fancy button with the glowing background, and at some point I had the rawr, and I had the Lion King little overlay. It was a fun moment. The arrow doesn't look the same, but we can use let's use a lucid arrow. It will get us covered. Arrow. Oh, the bird was cool. We want the short arrow. This is a very long arrow. Yeah, this one looks more... It actually looks very much like we want. So again, I copy SVG because when you copy the JSX, it gives you the React components that is expected by importing the library, I guess. Span. So I'm just wrapping this in a span, so I can then have my SVG rar here. So let's do, it's gonna be stacked because we need a flex container. But no biggie, we can just add a flex container. Flex items center to vertical center it, and gap 2. So the item center, I don't know about it. Doesn't look very centered to me. Maybe I typed it wrong. And I'll make the arrow smaller. 24 is quite, 20 is good. Class name, no, it has a class name already somewhere. Size 5. Remember, size is height and width combined. Fancy new in Tailwind 3.4, I think. Okay. Dude, why? Why? You know what, this grid, we've seen this grid. I think it's time to get rid of this grid. There. Okay. Why? Do you have some... No, that's just how the font is deciding that... See, it's very... Poppins, as that it's pop, maybe it's the name Poppins, it pops up a bit. So you could, I don't think it's a good idea, but you could compensate it by adding a -mt1 class to the icon to or 0.5. And I've certainly done this both in my work and in Tailwind UI work to make it perceive. It's just that thing, like if you have a circle with a play icon, which is a triangle in the middle. If it's in the middle, it looks completely wrong because of the weight of the shape. That the strong side of the triangle takes a lot of visual space, and then the pointy bit is small. So you kind of offset it to the right to make it feel more centered, even if it's not centered anymore. So that's when you play around with some translate or margin negative stuff. Actually, I think I'll keep 0.5. It just looks a little bit better. So we have that. And the cool thing now is we can see we have creativity and then aesthetics, aesthetics, and then inspirations and exploration and latest. Well, latest is, no, it's different layout as well. So aesthetics, exploration, inspiration. The cool thing is we can go in our categories here and go da, 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 da. And this one is aesthetics. Damn it, I thought I was gonna remember. There's no. Aesthetics and then inspiration and exploration. And that will probably match slugs, category slugs that we'll have in Keystatic to fetch the correct data. Our component will receive the slug, and then instead of just, it'll still be a string, but it's going to be a slug. And here we're going to read the data from the file system, and then we're going to output, we're going to have a category title, which is not going to be the string that we capitalize. We're going to have the real title, and we're going to have a list of attached posts. It's going to be great. For now, we kind of fake it till we make it. But look, now if I look at my thing, I'm going to have a stack. If I save the file, that might help. If I save here, we're going to have a stack of different categories, which is very cool. So we do the work once, and we're going to build that grid. So I have clearly missed my meeting. All right, I'll continue, and I'll catch up. There's recordings of that thing that we do every week. I will make a grid of 3. I don't even know what happens on the smaller. 3, 2, 1, classic grid. And we'll make a grid, and then the grid will have an image, category label, blog title, and the updated, posted, published date. And yeah, let's see if it, yeah, it does have, see, if I go release, it slides, not really, it's probably using JavaScript, I don't know. We'll do scroll snap here. Scroll snap is perfect for this. I just honestly don't really know how to, well, I know with JavaScript, but I don't know if there's a way to make scroll snap go to the next one with just CSS. That's something I'm interested in looking into. For now, let's go in our category list, and inside of, let's close that there. Now we're going to have an ordered list, which is going to be a grid. Any questions? Grid, and so grid is one column by default, and then at the medium breakpoint maybe we go grid calls 2, and then LG grid calls 3. I don't know exactly when it jumps. And then let me try something fancy. I always forget how to do it. Spread an array of 3 dot keys. Is that? I create an array of 3 items, and then I get the keys, and then I map over it. This is obviously not right. Whoa, I hate how it does that. I don't think it worked. Oh. It got rid of the... Okay, I failed. What I'm trying to do is create array of n items spread. Yes, this answer is from 2010. It's not gonna show me the spread operator. Yeah, that's though. I've seen it. That. Oh yeah, it's an array, and then yeah, it was pretty close. Pretty close. Of course, you can't spread an array if you're not spreading it inside an array. Array 3. That keys, close that. All right, so maybe that's another teaching moment on the chat. I know when I used that in another video that I did for Epic Web with Kenzie Dodds, people were like, oh my God, this is so cool. So basically I say I want 3 items instead of having an object here, const data equals, and have my array of 3 items, which I could do. I just fake 3 items, and what? Oh my God, what? No, absolutely not. Open 1Password on the stream. Now I have 3 items, 1, 2, 3. It is becoming very clear to me that we need spacing between these before I go crazy. So in the categories list, let's also make it a grid in a gap of 40, just like yeet it down a lot. Okay. So you can see I have a grid of 3 items. It might not look impressive, but if I now add a little bit of margin top, empty 8, and then instead of another thing with Astro, you don't need to have the key on. Oh, thanks. I just so instead of just having item, we'll have an image. Well, let's have a div with full H80 BG orange. Let's get something obnoxious. All right. So the thing I've clearly forgot is the gap before it looks any good. You can see here we have a gap of, that's probably 8. So in my grid here, we're gonna have a gap of 8. Yeah, nice. And then let's go rounded LG. It's probably rounded. Yeah, I just nailed it. It just needs to be. So instead of setting a height, because first of all, the default height stop at 96, I could have an arbitrary value, but a much cooler thing to do is aspect ratio. And have we want kind of like a mobile phone 9:16 or 10:16, whatever the cool TikTok format is. See, that's probably a bit too long, but I can now set the height based on the width, because the width is full, and then the aspect ratio is like, okay, I guess I'm going to, so what is it? Let's go 9:12. It's still too long. Is it 4:3, 3:4, like the traditional 4:3 inverted? I think it is. Okay, that's great. So see now, it's all of a sudden it's taking shape just because of our grid. We're like 98% closer to the goal than we were before making these shapes. I have a comment here. I've always done array from. Yep, that's exactly what I was using before, array from array. And it bothered me to have array twice. And like the spread operator. And then you get the keys, so you just basically you get a number 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, stuff like this. Okay, let's have the category, which is going to be a link to the category page, and then the title, which is a link to the post, and this, which is a link to nothing. And then we'll worry about. So this is going to be an image, yeah. Actually, you know what? Time to trip out in where? Unsplash. Let's find the first image that's very. Ooh, that's interesting. Ace, no. Mountain. Sunset, snow. That's what my vibe. Like it's 34 degrees today. I need some. Ooh, that's very nice. I guess I could get them. It doesn't have to be vertical because we're gonna crop it. You know what? I'm gonna go with this one. Oh no, it's a plus. This is why it looks so good. It's a professional. Yeah, that looks nice. I'm going to copy the address. Copy image address. Shout out to Dennis, who's available for hire. Give him a shout out. That's what when you use the image, that's what it says. Hey, give this person a hire. If you go download, it's like you should probably give a shout out. So I just did shout out. So let's turn this into an imager, and the imager needs a SSR, and the source is going to be that, and so. Now the image is going to be very distorted. Uh-oh, did I lose my... Yeah, it looks a little bit sick, the poor pine tree getting skinny here. So we can fix that with one class, which is object fit cover, which in Tailwind is object cover. And it's going to use all the space. It's like background image cover. Basically stretch out and crop the bits that don't fit so the area is covered. And then you can change the centering, the cropping origin, the transform origin. So if you wanted to keep the left portion of the image, you could say origin left. But I think this is pretty nice. All right, so let's do next the, again, gap, but then the gap changes. So we could have the 3 in a gap and then another, I'm just going to go empty 8, empty 8, empty 16. I don't know. The rule of twice the rule of proximity in design is called, like things that belong together, and then you double that value for to create the space. It usually works quite well. We have an image, then we have I don't know what it is. It's just a link. We're gonna link to the category name. Once again, this is going to be this is going to come from the title from the CMS. For now, I just use the string. So it should say creativity, aesthetics. Yes, not bad, not bad. So class, before I forget, inline block, otherwise the spacing is not gonna work. I could wrap this in a div, otherwise. Empty 8, uppercase. Let's look here. Not bad. What are we going for? Oh, it's not uppercase. It's capitalized. But I don't know about capitalized because it's... Yeah, I'll add it. But we only do this because we're using a string that has a lowercase a, but then when we use the CMS, it's going to have... I can remove capitalized, is what I'm trying to say. So it's light gray over light gray. It's a bit smaller. Text. Small. Text. Slate. 700. BG. Slate. 100. Padding X. 3. Padding Y. 1. What do we got? Oh my god, look at this. We got not bad, not bad. The margin top is a bit bigger. Oh, dog, stop barking. Empty dash 4. Oh, there's someone posty. It's gonna get loud. I'm not getting up. Come here. I might have to get up. Empty 6. The rounded corners is the other thing. See, when I go very quick like this, that's when I'm starting to have fun with Tailwind. Rounded, empty. Oh, less. Rounded SM? Oh, rounded just, I guess. Shush! Okay, give me 2 seconds. You can enjoy my background. Oi! Come here! Quiet. Yeah, I know you're looking at me like you shouldn't do it. You know it. All right. I turned the fan on to just add some more noise, but it's freaking hot. Sorry for the... I don't know if freaking is a swear word, but I should stop saying this. All right. We have let's add a hover state. It is very zinky and I'm very slatey, but I'm sticking to my... I'm going to die in this grave, die on this hill. So on hover, BG slate 200. And now we have... Yeah, okay, it's a bit less. Doesn't matter. Let's do the title. Now we don't have a post title, so we're gonna have a just placeholder, and then this is gonna have warrant creating some content. Damn, I want to keep. I'm really excited. I think I'm gonna keep going because I want to actually do Keystatic stuff. Okay, so text to Excel font. You know what? This looks like very similar to... No, actually not. All right. So this is also a link, but it's an H3. So we have the H3, and then inside of it, we have the link. Lorem ipsum getting... Oh, that's way too much. Let's go lorem ipsum $sit. It's a bit too short. Lorem ipsum $sit. Let's make it a bit longer. Yes, good boy. Good boy, because it's a dog. All right. So, class 9, empty, same than before, 6. So yes, this could be a oh no, actually not at all. Empty 4, And now you can see the prototype. Just playing with this margin top. If I was doing a CSS in JS object with font size theme that space, like, yes, you can do it, but you just don't have the same feedback loop. Text, XL, font, semi bold. Look at this. Bloody nailed it. Probably a bit too small, but I actually like it a bit smaller. I don't know. I'm torn between doing my own take on it and doing it, try to make it close. Ooh, Cicada's joining the party. All right, are we gonna go with this? No, we're not. I'm going back to Excel. Maybe we'll do a pass where we add the values in the config. So what are we missing? Updated on. I want to copy the text. Okay, I can't. P. So yeah, let's go in the past. We can update it on the. So remember what I said. We have empty 6, 4. We want to at least double it. So at least empty 8, and I think I'll go empty 12 here to really create separation. Why are you centered? Oh yeah, because I'm what? No. Am I in a grid here still? Oh yeah, well yes, that's a grid. No, but the grid is there, and then LI. Is there a text center somewhere? I'm actually surprised that this is centered for some reason. Oh. MT12. I got margin all around. I was like, I don't believe that I have this like justify content thing from grid. Yeah, what I was saying is you want the spacing here to be at least double as that to create this effect of this is a group of things and then this is another group of things, which I think the design is going for. And it's text very small and a bit chunky. So we go text, very small and chunky. I'm kidding. SM, font, semi-bold. Hey, it's probably extra small. And text, slate, 500. Yeah, right. It's way too small, but that's kind of what they have. It's even less. It's like 400, which is really definitely hard to read and will not pass accessibility. But okay, fine, you win. This is too small, the other one's too big, and now I'm pissed. So I'm gonna go. I don't know why, but this is what I'm gonna go with. All right, look at this. If we go back to the top, it looks like we've been fluffing around, but hey, we have a website. It just has the same category every time, but it has content, which I think means that we might, let me just look at the spacing between each here. You know what? That looks about right. Let's put it up here. And then let's put this one up here. Yeah, okay, so it's too big. But we were pretty close. So in my categories, we have the PY24. No, we have the gap 40. Let's go gap 24. And that is looking really good. I kind of, my eye tends to, this thing, I'm like, are you part of this or part of that down there? And I don't know if I have that feeling up here. Yes, this is just a little bit more pronounced here. So that's where you gotta be careful with spacing. I think just gap 32 will fix that problem. Yeah, it's too big, but it makes me happy, which is what matters. All right. Who is up for me keeping going? We've done Tailwind for a bit. Now I want to create a some content in Keystatic so we can actually display the thing. So I want to create a blog or an article content type, which if we go to the real design, will have a title, a intro text, a author, which is another content type, update date. And then in terms of contents, there is possibly, here we have an image list. This is going to be interesting to make a Keystatic repeating image grid. So you can have one image, 2, 3, 4, and we work out how it stacks. And then there's a little biography for the author. That'll be fun. I think that will be fun. But also, I don't want it to be like a 3-hour long video that nobody watches. So what I might do is stop the stream now, take a little break, and then start again and do the next one. Yep, I'll do that. It gives me a chance to drink some water, look at the sky, and do things that are healthy for me for like 5 minutes. So I'll take a break, and then I'll jump back on, and what we'll do in the next video, if you're watching, is go and install Keystatic, which is a database-free Markdown, Markdoc CMS that synchronizes with GitHub or your local file system, and we're going to add Astro. We're going to add Keystatic to our Astro project, and it's very easy. We have an integration that goes in your config like the rest of the other integrations that Astro does. And then we can create a config file where we define our collections like posts and authors and blah, blah, blah. And then we can use Astro's content collections to display them, which is pretty cool. Or just use the Keystatic Reader API that I can show you as well. So I will wrap this stream now for this. Let's take a last look at what we have. Non-functional, but like representative enough hero section. Oh, let me just fix this. So when I moved the max width, remember I had the max width container and I moved it up 1 because of the I don't know, I forgot why, but I moved a max width container on the navigation or the hero, and I've broken that thing here. So let's fix that really quickly. This would be in our page. We have a hero, and then we have our categories. So the categories is where I believe there's a border top. But yes, because of this max width 6XL. I don't want to wrap it in a section because there is no, well, there's another section inside, but there's no, I think sections always should have at least one heading, and there's no heading here. So let's have a div. I don't know what's best. What's best is you actually consider and think about it, and I've done that. Basically, I'll just have my border top here. And by doing this, I've now let the border be the whole width without messing with our containers. So we have the hero, and then we have a series of creativity links, series of categories that we're going to populate with Keystatic. Let me do one more thing. I should probably not do this now, but there's that little rotate thing. I'll just add a rotate utility. You might swap the icon. It might probably be looking better, but let's see if we can get away where we have our arrow icon that goes to the top right. Where is it? I collapsed it. It's here. So this is the arrow SVG. So I'm going to give a class of group here, because on group hover, when we hover the whole group, which is the text and the SVG, we want here to rotate group hover rotate 45. And it's probably minus 45 actually. So that when we hover the group, which is the link, we have the arrow. Hey, look at this. Typically, I would add a little transition on this, but the website doesn't. Just so it's like, but they go for the brutalist, super harsh. And I realized like the hover color is less pronounced. So let me get rid of the transition, but I'll also switch the, we had our inherited text color. I'll go to 500 here. Oh, yes, I love that I'm getting confused between the two. Yeah, that's good enough. Right, this is a wrap. Let me formally formally switch my view to a narrated view. Thank you for watching. I'll probably lose a bunch of viewers by closing the stream and starting a new one, but I need a break. And also, I wouldn't hate if my streams are not 4 hours long on YouTube, that nobody, like I would not start watching a video that's like hours and hours long. So that's a wrap. Thank you very much for the comments and the questions and the help. Yeah, so tune in the next stream if you want. If you can't because it's getting late, you can watch it later. And I'll try to make more streams and get a bit faster. I might experiment with the silent one, although these comments that I saw was pretty revealing to me. I know it's just one person, but someone said we aren't here for the quickness, meaning that we are here to, let me, if I it's so hard because I have the camera in. We are here for the struggles and the problem solving, which I can appreciate. So yeah, let me know in the comments if you like it, if it's helpful, and I will keep doing this and improve. But on the next stream, we're going to dive into Keystatic, switch gears for a bit, and then, and that's a really cool part, once we have data in the CMS, we're going to style and do some templating with Tailwind once again. But it really takes life when we have different images and different titles than the good boy seat. All right, see you later. Catch you soon. Bye.